In this problem we're given some sides and an angle in a triangle, and we have to calculate the missing angles and the remaining side. So we're given that side A is 10 centimeters, B is 8 centimeters, and angle A is 60 degrees. We'll begin by making a sketch of the information. It doesn't have to be superbly accurate. But here we go. Let's draw a triangle. So let's call this one side A, which is 10 centimeters. That will be opposite angle A. This is side B, which is 8 centimeters. It's opposite angle B. So this must be angle C, and we're given in the problem that angle A is 60 degrees. So there's our problem. We have to decide which angles we can calculate now. So the sine rule requires us to know an angle and its opposite side. For angle B, we know the side opposite. For angle C, we don't know the side opposite. So we're going to have to begin with calculating angle B. So we'll write down the sine rule for this. So it's going to be sine B over its opposite side, which is 8. And we use the angle and the side that we already know. So it's going to be sine 60 divided by 10. We're going to rearrange this and try to calculate angle B. So if we rearrange, we get sine B is 8 sine 60 over 10. Now you could type the right hand side into your calculator, but we'll just simplify it a little more. This is the same as 8 root 3 over 2 divided by 10, and that will simplify. We're going to have 8 over 10, which is 4 over 5, divided by 2, which is 4 over 10, which simplifies to 2 over 5. So it's going to be 2 root 3 over 5. So that's sine B. Okay, and we take the inverse sine function. So therefore B is the inverse sine of what we just typed there. So whether you've got this in the form that we wrote with the surd, or whether it's a decimal, we're going to write the answer down, and your calculator will tell you that this is about 43.9 degrees. Okay, so that's that one. So it's about 44 degrees. Now we can calculate angle C, because we know the angle sum of a triangle is 180 degrees. We already know A and B. So angle C is just 180, and you can subtract the angle that we're given. So that's 60 and subtract 43.9. So we're able to calculate that angle C is equal to approximately 76.1 degrees. Okay, so now we know all the sides of all the angles of the triangle. To calculate the remaining side, we can just use the sine rule again. So this time, this will be side C. So we can write down the formula for the sine rule. So we're given C divided by the opposite angle. So that's going to be sine of 76.1. And to be as accurate as we can, we should use the angle and the side given in the problem. So that's going to be 10 divided by sine 60. Okay, so if we rearrange that, we can get side C, which is going to be 10 sine of 76.1 divided by sine 60. Okay, now if you feed all of that into your calculator, and when you're calculating that you should be using the exact value, but I don't think it's going to be too far out if you don't. It's going to be approximately 11.2 centimeters. So that's it. Our triangle is now fully defined. In this problem we're given a set of measurements which define a triangle. So we're given two angles, B is 40, C is 80 degrees, and we're given a single side, C is 13 centimeters. We have to calculate the remaining angle and the 2 remaining sides. We'll draw a quick sketch to represent the situation, so don't worry if it's not too accurate. We're going to call this one 13 centimeters. Now, since that's side C, this must be angle C opposite, and the question tells us that it's 80 degrees. We're also given angle B, so let's call that one B. So we'll have 40 degrees. That means this is side B opposite. This must be angle A, and this must be side A. Now we can calculate angle A almost immediately, because the angle sum of a triangle is 180 degrees. So therefore we can say A is just 180 minus 80 minus 40. So angle A is just 60 degrees. So we can mark our triangle with that immediately. With all of the angles known, we can apply the sine rule. So we can begin with, for example, side B. So if we write down the sine rule for side B, we've got B over sine 40 equals, and we've got a choice. So let's go for maybe those two. So we could have 13 over sine 80. So rearrange that to get B is 13 sine 40 over sine 80. So if you just punch those into your calculator, you can get an answer as accurately as you like, but let's maybe make it to 2 decimal places. So it's going to be 8.49 centimeters. So that's side B taken care of. If we want to calculate side A, we can do the same again. So we'll write down the sine rule formula for this side and the opposite angle. So we can calculate side A over sine 60 is equal to, well, again we can choose another pair of sides. It's better to use those because then we're not using an approximate value. So if we write it down as 13 over sine 80, which means that we can rearrange that to find A. So it's going to be 13 sine 60 degrees divided by sine of 80 degrees. And again, your calculator will give you the approximate value. So to 2 decimal places, we find out that it's 11.43 centimeters. So our triangle is now fully defined.